Please help. Mom won't move.
My 8-year-old granddaughter suddenly visited our house. She said he walked for an hour to get here. She was staggering with a high fever of 40 degrees, and seemed like she could collapse at any moment. Despite her condition, my granddaughter kept worrying about her mother. I sensed that something was seriously wrong, so I hurried to my daughter's house. There, I found my daughter lying motionless, covered in bruises and not breathing. What on earth is going on? Could it be? I understood everything in that moment, trembling with anger. I decided to seek revenge. I'm Samantha, 62 years old. As a single mother, one of my goals was to raise my daughter Holly to be respectable. Despite not being wealthy, I took pride in the fact that Holly grew up to be honest and straightforward. We have a close mother-daughter relationship where we can talk about anything without hiding secrets. After a lifetime of walking hand in hand, one day a big change came into our lives.
Mom, there's someone I want to marry. Can I bring him over sometime?
It was the day after her 28th birthday. I had a faint inkling that she was seeing someone, but it seemed that on her birthday, he proposed to her. For me, who had lived together with Holly, enduring everything, this was a slightly bittersweet moment. A few weeks after my daughter confided in me, a well-dressed man arrived at our home.
This is Ben, the man I'm currently seeing.
Nice to meet you.
Upon our first meeting, he seemed like a fine young man. His mannerisms were gentle, and his eyes were very kind when he looked at my daughter. He mentioned that his parents owned a company, and he was working there to learn about business in order to take over in the future. Please take care of Holly.
Thank you. I'll make Holly the happiest person in the world.
Well, that's reassuring. I felt confident in my daughter's choice, so I decided to approve of their marriage. After getting married, the two of them started their new life just a 10-minute drive away from my house. Holly, at Ben's strong insistence, quit her job and became a full-time housewife. My daughter often checked up on me, contacting me frequently and visiting when our schedules aligned.
Mom, guess what? It seems like I'm pregnant.
Oh, that's wonderful. About 2 months after their wedding, she visited my house and joyfully shared the news. Seeing her express her happiness like a child made me equally delighted. I'm finally going to be a grandma, I thought eagerly, awaiting the birth of my first grandchild. During the pregnancy, there were no major issues, and my daughter gave birth to a healthy baby girl. They named her Rose. People often say that grandchildren are so adorable that you could watch them endlessly without getting tired. Rose was truly adorable, and every time I saw her, my eyes couldn't help but soften with affection. However, something seemed off with Holly after giving birth, as she appeared to lack energy. Perhaps she was quite tired from her first experience with childcare. On my days off, I'll take care of Rose, so feel free to bring her over. That way, you can relax a bit, too, right?
Yeah, thank you.
It seemed like my daughter felt reassured by my words, as she occasionally came over to spend leisurely time at our house. Are you getting more used to childcare?
Quite a bit. But there's still a lot I don't understand, and it's tough.
I see. Does Ben help out with childcare and household chores?
He gets home late from work. He doesn't do housework, but he manages the finances. So, it's tough because I don't have much money to spend freely.
This was the first time Holly had complained about her husband and household matters. I understood that it was natural for them to find living together challenging, given their different upbringing backgrounds, and I thought it was inevitable for grievances to spill out. Do you remember your father's habit of overspending and constantly being in debt? That's one of the reasons for our divorce.
Yeah, it was really tough for you back then.
That's why I think it's better to be with someone like Ben, who tries to manage things on his own and is strict with money. Of course, you might feel restricted at times.
Yeah, you're right.
It seemed like my daughter agreed, as she didn't bring up the topic further. As time passed, and Rose grew older, Holly's visits to my home gradually decreased. Eventually, we only saw each other around New Year's holidays. Although I felt a sense of loneliness, I believed that she had grown accustomed to parenting and was managing her own life well. However, recently, I found it difficult to reach her on the phone, and receiving a prompt reply to messages became rare. Even when she did respond to me a few days later, she would only write, "I'm fine, don't worry." This was unlike her, and I couldn't shake off the feeling that my daughter might be hiding something from me. I wonder if something happened. It's okay if she's just busy. Unable to stay still with worry for my daughter and grandchild, I decided to visit them without notifying them first. When Holly came out after I rang the intercom, she looked surprised to see me.
Mom, what's going on? Why did you come over so suddenly?
I was worried because it's been hard to get in touch with you.
But I've been sending you message saying I'm fine, right? Anyway, Ben is here today, so I'd like you to leave.
It was the first time she had ever said something like this, even though Ben had always welcomed me into their home before. It seemed a bit strange to me.
Holly, why don't you let her in?
Perhaps he overheard our conversation, as my son-in-law peeked out from behind my daughter.
Grandma,
Samantha, it's been a while. Have you been well? I've been quite busy lately, so I haven't had much time to see you.
Ben, I'm sorry for showing up unexpectedly on your day off. I've been worried lately because Holly hasn't been keeping in touch.
Don't worry about it. It's been a while since you've seen Rose, so please stay as long as you like.
In his usual gentle manner, he welcomed my visit. I was delighted to reunite with my 8-year-old grandson and listened eagerly to catch up on recent events.
Hey! Is the tea ready yet?
My son-in-law went into the kitchen where Holly was preparing tea, and suddenly his tone turned cold.
I'm boiling water as fast as I can right now.
You're really clumsy.
Perhaps he thought I couldn't hear, but his attitude toward my daughter grew increasingly harsh. I wonder if their marriage is going well. I approached the kitchen as I wanted to have a conversation with my daughter alone, but they still hadn't noticed me.
This is why I hate people raised by single parents.
Upon hearing Ben's words, I couldn't believe my ears and I froze. I glanced over and saw Holly looking very sad. Seeing her like that, my heart felt heavy.
Oh, Samantha. What's wrong? I'll bring you some tea right away, so please, have a seat.
As he turned around and noticed my presence, my son-in-law reverted to his usual gentle demeanor. This man, constantly changing his attitude. I can't trust him. I considered taking my daughter home with me as I sensed that my daughter was feeling uncomfortable, and when Ben stepped away from the table, I took the opportunity to speak to Holly. If you're going through a hard time, you can bring Rose and come back to our place.
Mom, I'm sorry for worrying you. But there's really nothing wrong.
She forced a smile, trying not to concern me. Her forced smile seemed painfully unnatural, and my worries grew. Despite repeatedly urging her to come home with me, she adamantly refused. Leaving my daughter's house with a heavy heart, I realized I needed to pay even closer attention to Holly from now on. It was a few weeks after that day. My 8-year-old granddaughter, Rose, suddenly visited my house. She had walked for an hour and seemed on the verge of collapsing. As I held her in my arms, I was shocked by her fever. I quickly brought her inside and measured her temperature, only to find it was a staggering 40 degrees Celsius. What happened? What's wrong?
Mom needs help. She won't move. Please help Mom first, before me.
Despite her high fever, Rose was deeply concerned about her mother. I knew this was serious. I hurriedly placed my granddaughter in the passenger seat and rushed to my daughter's house. The door was left unlocked, so I called my daughter's name as I entered the room. And there, in the living room, I found Holly lying down. My heart pounded with shock as I discovered her. Holly. Holly. Are you okay? There was no response to my calls, and she appeared to be not breathing. I noticed bruises all over her body and began to piece together what had happened. This must be. I immediately called for an ambulance, and Holly and Rose were taken to the hospital. The attending doctor informed me that both of them were in serious condition and would need to stay in the hospital for a while. Moreover, the doctor told me,
"Your daughter may be in danger, so please be prepared."
No. Holly, hang in there. You'll be okay. I was shocked and my mind went blank, but I prayed, believing in my daughter's resilience and hoping for her recovery. Sitting on a cold chair in the hallway, I tried to calm my trembling heart as anxiety washed over me. After that, the doctors worked diligently to treat them, and Holly miraculously regained consciousness the next day. I'm so relieved. I'm truly relieved.
Mom. How's Rose?
She's also hospitalized, sleeping in another room now.
I see. That's a relief. Mom, you see.
Seeing Holly, who seemed like she wanted to say something, I smiled gently and nodded encouragingly. Perhaps feeling reassured, she started crying. She must have gone through some very difficult days. I held my daughter tightly as she cried, like a child, tears streaming down her face. Afterward, when she had calmed down a bit, my daughter told me something unbelievable. What the? I can't just let this go. When my daughter collapsed, I had a suspicion, but I never imagined it would be this serious. Learning about the suffering my daughter had endured filled me with anger, and I resolved in my heart that I would seek justice. 2 days after my daughters were admitted to the hospital, I pretended not to know anything and pressed the intercom at my daughter's house.
Oh, Samantha. What brings you here today?
Just had a little something to discuss with Holly. Is she around?
Oh, I got a call from her saying she went to a friend's house with Rose. They're not home right now.
He casually lied. What's more, despite my daughter and Rose not being there, he was even humming. Oh, I see. They just called a little while ago. What should I do now? But I can't just go back like this. I told Ben that my daughter had asked me to sell a large teddy bear at the bazaar. Without any suspicion, he let me into the house. This is it. I'll take it with me then. As soon as I entered the living room, I quickly packed the teddy bear into a large bag I brought. Then, I quickly left their house and headed straight to a certain place. A few days later on Sunday, I called Ben. I have something I want to discuss with you privately, without telling Holly. Could you come over to my place?
What is it? Can't we talk over the phone?
I know you're busy, but I'd prefer to talk in person if possible.
I see. Alright, I'll come over later.
About an hour later, my son-in-law arrived with a smile. I apologize for summoning you so suddenly. Holly hasn't found out about you coming here, has she?
Oh, it's fine. Right now, Rose and she are happily making sweets together.
That couldn't be true. My daughter and granddaughter are still undergoing treatment at the hospital. This man might be weaving lies effortlessly. I'm utterly dismayed by Ben's endless stream of lies.
So, what's the matter you wanted to discuss?
Actually, it's about this. I showed him a certain photo. He furrowed his brows, looking uneasy, then quickly averted his gaze. Do you know what this is?
What's this?
You don't recognize it? It's your wife, isn't it? The photo was evidence of the bruises on my daughter's body taken on the day she was taken to the hospital. And the fact that Holly and Rose are at home is also a lie, isn't it? Because they've been in the hospital for the past few days.
In the hospital.
Ben just repeats my words. What is he thinking? You didn't even bother to look for Holly and Rose when they weren't home, did you? My anger towards my son-in-law for not answering my questions is about to burst. Last week, Rose walked over to our house, feeling dizzy with a fever of 40 degrees. Then I told him that my granddaughter had kept pleading, "Help Mom," so I hurried to their house, only to find Holly barely breathing. I had to rush both of them to the hospital, but they were in critical condition.
I thought they were staying over at a friend's house.
I didn't give him a chance to come up with excuses and decided to press on. The doctor said this bruise was caused by strong external force, something that happens regularly. Do you know anything about it?
Huh. Oh. Come to think of it, she mentioned something about slipping on the stairs and falling.
Seeing my son-in-law lie so casually once again, my blood boiled with anger. Stop lying. You've been raising your hand to Holly every day, haven't you?
Huh. There's no evidence of that, so don't say such things.
I heard it directly from my daughter with my own ears.
And is that evidence? Are you just going to believe everything Holly says and make me out to be the bad guy? What's your motive? Money?
Ben showed no remorse whatsoever and came up with outrageous claims. You can say that for now. But I have solid evidence right here. I glared at my son-in-law, pointing at the laptop on the table. Can you still say that after seeing this? I clicked the mouse and played a video.
What is this? No way.
He was clearly shaken, his face growing paler by the second. The video clearly showed my son-in-law raising his hand to Holly. Actually, after my daughter regained consciousness, she told me about the evidence.
Why does something like this exist?
Holly, feeling her life was in danger, secretly installed a camera to capture your actions without being noticed. With the intention of using it as evidence to punish this man, I had been trying to find a way to retrieve that camera. My daughter told me that she had hidden a small camera inside the teddy bear in the living room, ensuring it wouldn't be found by Ben. So, the night after my daughter and granddaughter were hospitalized, I visited his place pretending not to know anything, and lied that I was taking the teddy bear to sell it at a bazaar. He probably never expected to be caught in his own trap with that teddy bear.
What is this thing? I'm going to break it.
Ben's demeanor changed drastically, and he slammed the laptop onto the floor. Not only that, but he turned red with rage and stomped on the laptop with all his might. Doing something like this won't change anything.
Shut up. Shut your mouth.
My son-in-law snapped at me, glaring fiercely, and then he attempted to raise his hand against me.
Ben, what are you doing?
The door of the room swung open loudly, and Ben, turning his gaze in that direction, widened his eyes in surprise.
Ha! Dad!
Yes, the one who appeared was Ben's father, Henry. After retrieving the video camera from my daughter's house, I went straight to Ben's parents' house. I showed them the footage, revealing what Ben had been doing to my daughter, and he offered deep apologies. Henry immediately tried to call Ben out, but I asked him to keep this matter quiet until I could confirm if Ben genuinely felt remorseful. However, Ben's father insisted on apologizing to my daughter no matter what, so he accompanied me to the hospital and offered a sincere apology to Holly. Hearing the whole story, Ben was left frozen with his hand raised, unsure of what to do next. Moreover, cold sweat began to trickle down his forehead.
Hey, put your hand down.
Okay.
Prompted by his father, Ben suddenly became quiet and obedient.
What's going on here?
Well, you see,
Raising your hand to that extent. This isn't something that can be resolved with just an apology.
Dad, it's not what you think. It's all set up. They're trying to frame me.
Ben delivers lines one might only hear in a TV drama, dead serious, to his father. There's no setup here. This is the truth.
You can fabricate footage like this if you want. This is definitely fake.
My son-in-law inches closer to me, trying to corner me. Does he still think he can explain away?
Enough with the excuses. I don't want to hear any more of that.
Henry's loud voice makes Ben flinch reflexively.
Dad, please understand. It's all Holly's fault.
Though he flinched for a moment, there's no sign of remorse in him. You raised your hand to Holly while she was unwell in bed, right? And you locked Rose, who tried to stop you, in the outdoor shed.
But Holly is a housewife, isn't she? Don't you think it's unacceptable for her to lie in bed and not do any housework?
That's not all, is it? You took my daughter, who looked like she was about to collapse at any moment, to the bathroom, showered her with water, and then left her out on the balcony. Tears streamed down my cheeks as I recounted Holly's situation that day. I mustn't cry. Holly and Rose must have had it much worse. Reminding myself of this, I took a deep breath and locked eyes with Ben.
But I brought her back inside before I left the house, so it's fine, isn't it?
Why would you do something so terrible? You used to be much kinder and took care of Holly, didn't you?
It's all her fault. Ever since Rose was born, she started slacking off on household chores and taking care of me.
I couldn't help but feel astonished at my son-in-law's selfish reasons, and I was left speechless. And he still seemed like he had something else to say, smiling smugly. You promised to make my daughter the happiest woman in the world before you got married, didn't you?
Did I say something like that? Having them around just costs me money. People who are being supported financially have no rights, you know.
Ben casually uttered something outrageous which was hard to believe. Unbelievable. This is too much.
But isn't it a waste to spend the money I worked hard to earn on them, who contribute nothing productive?
you're the one who told Holly to quit her job. And it's only natural to support your own child.
Ha! You still don't get it, do you? Housewives need to do their job properly to deserve compensation, you know.
Moreover, Ben showed no remorse for relieving work stress by raising his hand to Holly, speaking nonchalantly. I thought it was pointless to say anything more to this man.
Perhaps this awful behavior is because of how my wife and I raised him. I'm truly sorry.
Ben's father bowed solemnly, but I wonder how my son-in-law felt about that.
You don't need to apologize, Dad. I haven't done anything wrong.
You idiot. You're wrong. As a father, I'll say it first. You're disowned. And as the president of the company, let me tell you, someone like you is fired.
Ha! Disowned? Fired? That's impossible. It's impossible. If that happens, how am I supposed to live? Dad, please forgive me.
Ben became frantic and pleaded with his father.
Reflect on what you've done. Never associate with us again.
Henry pushed his son away and turned his back.
Wait. Please say something, Samantha. If I'm left like this, I'll be jobless. It'll trouble Holly and Rose, won't it?
I don't think so. I handed Ben the divorce papers I had received from my daughter. After doing such terrible things, did you really think you could continue your married life?
If I get divorced, I'll be alone.
Well, that's odd. You seemed to be enjoying being alone after Holly and Rose were gone, didn't you? Yes, actually, there was more to the footage from this camera. I inserted the copied SD card into my phone and began playback. After I had taken my daughter and grandchild to the hospital, when Ben returned home and realized they were nowhere to be found, he wasn't searching for them. Instead, he was smirking, saying, "If things go well, I'll get the life insurance money." Even when I went to retrieve the teddy bear with the camera inside, he was unaware of my arrival and was humming a tune. Seeing that footage, my son-in-law's eyes welled up, and he nervously tried to take the phone from me. However, his father intervened and prevented him from doing so. Holly and Rose's case seems to have been reported to the police from the hospital, so I imagine the detectives will be your conversation partners for a while.
Police?
As we file the report, we'll also hand over the recorded footage to the police, so be prepared.
Wait a minute, Samantha. Please wait.
He must really be worried about involving the police. With sweat dripping down his face, he pleaded with me.
Please, don't do that. I'll apologize for everything, just please forgive me. Please ask Holly too, please.
Holly isn't your puppet. Stop manipulating her with your convenient excuses. As I harshly pushed him away, Ben became stunned and stood there, speechless. His father then dragged him outside, saying,
I'll make sure he doesn't run away until we hand him over to the police.
Before leaving. In the following days, my daughter filed a police report and submitted the incriminating footage as evidence. As a result, my son-in-law was arrested. While the exact verdict remains uncertain, it's anticipated that he'll spend some time behind bars. He's been disowned by his parents as promised and has also been terminated from his job. The divorce between my daughter and her husband was finalized successfully. We were able to claim a lump sum of $150,000 from Ben for the mental anguish, medical expenses, and child support for Holly and Rose. After recovering and being discharged from the hospital, my daughter and granddaughter moved into my house. The sound of their laughter echoing through the house is pure happiness for me. As a mother and grandmother, I want to do everything I can to ensure that they continue to smile in the future.